First, they took your family and your riches. Then they took your health and your pride. Finally, they left you to die. What will you do, exile, when there is nothing left but to live or die? Now that you've chosen, what will you become?
I mean, wow. Isn't that cool? I've been waiting for almost a year, at least a year, maybe even it's been a little bit longer, that they had announced that they were working on this game while I was playing Age of Conan. Knew I was going to want to try it out. Really liked Mr. Robert E. Howard's universe, stories he wrote. I still haven't been able to get copies and read all of them yet. Stories he wrote, and then of course all the other people that carried on after he died, and before he was dead too. Other stories that were written that dealt with the Conan universe. But this is freaking cool. Granted, cinematic rendered videos is a lot more eye candy that you get to see in the game, but compared to a lot of others, it kind of upsets me that artwork on game boxes and whatever, and the cinematic videos, you know, shows this awesome shit which you think you're going to be able to see in game, and once you start playing it, it's nowhere near. It doesn't even have anything to do with it in some of them. And I'm talking to you, Polarium, and your frickin' Stormfall. If you've ever seen the cinematic of that game using, well, that doesn't make any difference. But and then have actually tried to play the game, it has nothing to do with it. You know, shame on them to entice people with a video like that, and then it doesn't even have anything to do with what actually happens in game. So just wanted to show that for the start. That's what starts up every time you load the game, unless you click out of it. But for the start of Mountain Rides, guide to the early access for the On Your Wing channel. Well, how you doing out there, people in the interwebs land? This is Mountain Ride, baby. I'm on your wing. So, FunCom finally has released in early access for alpha testing, whatever they want to. It's not really alpha testing. It's early access, they're calling it. And I've been waiting for this game for at least a year, seems like. Maybe even more. I've been watching it. But they created Age of Conan, which I liked a lot. Spent many hours playing. After I assembled this machine I've got going over here, I based it off a Maximus Hero 7 motherboard and MSI branded 970 GTX NVIDIA video card, so that I could play combat flight and armor simulators and make videos of the games I was playing to put them up on YouTube. Little video guides and whatever, and having fun. A few other things. So, to my friends over at Stormfall, especially Lady L. Sorry I didn't type in chat, but I was having problems. 3 times the game crashed on me and bounced me out when I tried to type something in chat that I was going to be quitting playing Stormfall with all the problems with Polarium. And here's a little video to kind of show you why. Plus talk about this magnificent freaking game and the graphics quality that FunCom is capable of produce, and I know my machine and internet are capable of running. So anyway, there's sunrise. Oh yeah, I've got let me put it this way. The game developers said that the 970 GTX is not really the best card for this. They're saying it would run the best on a 1080 GTX NVIDIA card or equivalent, and I'm not ready to upgrade to that, but I have set the graphics on Ultra, and I am able to play the game and see all this magnificent freaking eye candy, and the card just runs a little warm. It runs about 10 degrees warmer than usual. Now this box I assembled my computer in has got the capability for 7 fans in it. Plus I've got the i7 chip in it, and I've got that water cooled with a radiator and stuff. So it's not taxing my system. It just kind of makes the 970 card run a little warmer than usual. But for these videos, I'm gonna go ahead and capture these in ultra mode. I hope you're on a good enough computer to be able to watch these videos in high definition and have got internet connections, broadband's good enough so that it's not skipping and all that. If you do, I'm going to put a link in the description, guess of all my videos from now on, for a little free program you can download, and it allows you to scrape videos and music from YouTube to download to your hard drive, and then you can watch it as good as your system is able to, instead of having to rely on your how good your internet connection is. But then you can take that and watch the videos on your system if it's capable to see it in HD, or download it to a little flash drive that, what they cost, 20 bucks. Get 18 megabyte, 8 megabyte or 16 megabyte one, and take it over to a friend of yours that you know's got a kick-ass system, so you can see how beautiful this freaking game is. I'm impressed. I was very impressed with Conan. I play a lot of World of Tanks and then switched to War Thunder. Graphics in those 2 games are really good. Not as good as what the console peasants get, but that's okay. They make games like this if I really want to see some eye candy. So anyway, you start out over here every time I've spawned in, I've done a character based off of either Sumerian or Nordheimer, I think they're called. And just a natural guy would try to give him gray hair because I'm not a young guy. Didn't quite get it right, but he kind of looks like the wild Swede that was the actor that was in the original Conan. That that wielded the Warhammer Maul, which I think is cool as shit. Now, little heads up here, the game has the ability to go into settings, and when you first start out, and pick your level of nudity, whatever your based on your level of maturity. I've got it at partial, so I'm not offending everybody. He's got a little loincloth on. If you go full nudity, his schwanz is flopping until you craft him some clothes and stuff. Plus, it's kind of freaked me out the first time I went and got hit by a sandstorm, and a sandstorm blew in, which are cool, man. I'm going to be capturing one of those later, part 2 or whatever. But crouching behind one of these areas that are safe. You have to go explore and find these. And his nuts and schwanz was dragging on the ground, man. Plus, I re-rolled 4 times now, just testing out the game, making mistakes, and this and that and the other thing. 3 times in male characters, and once tried female. But level of maturity, level of graphics is dependent on your own maturity. So, just real quick. Okay, I was in V key, which is vanity view there, so you can look at yourself. And you start out, and you just, if you've ever played a survival game before, I guess they're all the same on all of them. You go around and you collect resources, stuff you need to craft stuff, such as rocks and bushes, well, plant fiber. And then in the plant fiber, see that? A handful of insects. They're edible. Now look up there in the upper left. I'll show you something real quick that you probably already know about if you play these games before. And you click the R button, and it brings up your inventory, or you can also go I. But like I said, these okay, this is a countdown of how thirsty you are. This is your vitality, your health. This is your stamina, which counts down as your, it rolls around counterclockwise as you're fighting and running. If this goes to 0, you die. If stamina goes to 0, you die, and then it says you killed yourself. This is your level of thirst, and this is your level of how hungry you are. Now watch it real close. Eat a couple of these bugs, and it comes up a little bit, so you can save yourself from starving from the get-go. You start out dying of thirst also. I've already progressed almost, I'm through level 20 right now. I'm almost to level 21. And this counts up points towards your leveling over time, and also for actions you complete in the game. Got to pay attention to this. This is your encumbrance, how much stuff you're carrying. As you level up, you are able to put points towards, I think it's an encumbrance right here. It allows you to carry more and more and more strength, how damage you do to enemies and stuff like that. Anybody who's ever played at survival games, I guess you should already know about this. You learn recipes as you level up and you get points, and each thing tells you, oh yeah, down here in the unlock tells you how many points you need to unlock it. When you first start out, you have the ability to craft clothes, so you can close your nudity, your nakedity. And as such, I ain't gonna make you wait for all that. Go ahead and clothe yourself and start exploring. You also have the ability when you first start out to craft the pick here, I believe it is, and a few other things. So I've already, like I said, progressed to level 20 in this particular account, so or this particular reroll. So I've already got stuff unlocked over here, which you'll find out about it later if you play the game, or depending on, I got to reread the EULA to see how much I can say. I got to reread it again to see how much I can say about the game without getting busted for breaking the EULA. This video right here, these first couple that I'm just showing to my friends, it's going to be on YouTube, but it's going to be private, and also link for the developers of the stuff I've seen that's a little wonky in the game, and they have updated many times already just this first week, fixing stuff. They had a problem with server loads and yada yada yada, and so far they have been very good with keeping up with the community contributors, and we're going around trying to break stuff, see what's not working correctly. So real quick also, as you learn crafting skills, they pop up over here, and then you click on them, and then down here it'll tell you what it takes to create those items and the count of whatever items. Real quick, just gathering a few things, be it the plants, plant fiber, stone, and insects, and let's see, there you go. So you also get seeds, which is another important thing you're going to need later, but I won't do a spoiler on that for you. I forgot to say this, sorry. Real quick here, because I don't want this to go on too long and don't want to bore the shit out of you. Whenever you come across something like this, I've already read this stone, but the gods talk to you.
Beyond the passage of our highways, by the wild places of the world, where untrained savages make endless war upon each other. You cannot pass into the endless wastes enslaved. Your bonding prevents it. Return. Follow the road. Any road. All roads lead to the city.
Now, that's an indication. See this bracelet on your left arm? It is connected to, okay, see those towers over there in the distance? They actually surround the map, and that's the edge of where you can be in the world. And if you cross over that, your character looks down at that bracelet, and you die. You have to respawn in. So in early access, you have the ability to go into administration panel and all that, and settings, and change. And also, when you first start out, you have the ability to join somebody else's server or create your own little server just so you can explore and whatever, like I'm doing, play by myself, play with myself. But anyway, you can pick how difficult the game is, and whether or not it drops all of your equipment when you die, or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna cut right here because just gonna go through one more little part, and don't want to make you have to watch me run all the way there. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back for a second. I forgot to say something. Right near the start, after you've read that stone wall there, whatever you want to call it, you'll come across a bat-like monster that's eating something. Now this is kind of a spoiler, but don't listen if you don't watch the rest of the video if you don't want to be spoiled. You know what I mean? That's what guides are all about. It's kind of telling you what's going on. But you're gonna find a dead guy underneath that bat thing's eating, and ability to get your water bottle that's partially full, because you almost need it to be able to get to where you can find water first. So be advised, get yourself some water real quick. And the reason why I brought that up is for FunCom devs, that's still glitching for me. I don't know if it's because I've been playing in ultra mode on a 970 card, but I'm going to try it out again with the graphics capability drop down a little bit and see if I'm still having the same problems. But it's glitching and not allowing you to pick up the water bottle or read that note. Okay, we'll be back again in a minute. Okay, ran a little ways, and notice that up on that altar in front of me, or that platform, that's something else you need to look at. Spoiler, there's a little closer view of those towers that created force field all the way around the edges of the map, the playable area. There's something else I should mention also. Hit M for map. When you first start out, you have no idea where you're at. You are not on the map till you get to a certain point, and I won't spoil that for you, but be advised. So this is a second bat-like officer or bat-like creature that's eating another poor sap. Oh my goodness. Well, he just flew away, huh? But that's how you equip your weapons that you should have crafted by now. Actually, by now you're just going to have the pick, which will kill stone pick, which will kill out your first creatures you start coming across, except for that one. He just flies away. But check this guy out. There's something you need to do here in the game, and then I'm gonna go over there. Well, that's something else too. When you're encumbered, if you got your weapons out, it doesn't allow you to run. You go into stance. So the only way you can move at a reasonable rate is to, well, I've got it set up and it's default, the shift key, left shift key, to get him to run, but that uses up stamina. So pay attention to that. I wanted to say something about these right here. See these statues? See the artwork on that? Have any of you ever seen the old, I don't know, it might still be around, but the metal churulent, well, it's a French word, probably not pronouncing that right, but the graphics magazine, and also in America here in, well, I guess the English speaking countries, it was called Heavy Metal. And then they had the heavy metal movies. There's an artist that was very active with those, doing stuff for those. It was called Moebius. French guy, might not be pronouncing that correctly. But these creatures, which are like gods, I'm thinking that's what was talking to you in that first stone, kind of looked like some of the creatures he had developed for some of his stories. So I brought that up because in part 2, or maybe even part 3, I'm going to say something about the environment here. Speaking of which, it's getting ready to be sunset, and I've got it set at default, but every 30 minutes it changes from day to night and cycles through with the sunset and sunrise. And you can watch the moon, and the moon also goes through its phases, which is cooler than shit. But I mean, look at this frickin' game environment. And my friends in Knights Templar 2, this will give you an idea of why I'm so PO'd at Polarium with trying to run that little freaking game with my internet. And actually right now I'm hitchhiking on a Wi-Fi to my neighbor's house, and I'm still able to run this game with graphics quality like this. It's why I ain't gonna give Polarium another dime, and I don't want to play their game anymore. And real quick here, these are the branches, the twigs you also need to pick up. Okay, we're gonna end this vid right here as I'm taken over by nightfall. I've got to go find a place to hide till daybreak before I can run back over to where I created my little starting point, where I've been learning how to craft stuff and leveling up, and we'll talk to you about that in level 2. Thanks for watching. Hope everything's uptight, out of sight, and in the groove. We'll talk to y'all later.